Hey everybody, we're here.
Hola,
How was
hola.
the holidays are over. The holidays are over. We're all back.
No, they're not yet
Well, you know what I mean. And,
because
and
it's
Yeah.
12th night.
as much as I love Christmas coming right after Halloween, I'm one of the early people,
Me
but
too.
I love to watch it all go away on
I hate.
January 6th.
Yes,
You know.
Epiphany. Good job, Bob. 12th
Yeah.
night. I have
All right.
HTT News.
I'm
That's
in. Oh, jeez.
Happy
It's
Together news, people. In fact, there's a couple of things. Let's get into this. Go ahead,
okay.
Susan, you
All
first.
right. Well, it's just going to be a wonderful summer, number one. We have the full band, everybody, all the people who we want coming back with all of our new people. But I wanted to let us know because I know she's just a wonderful gal that Bridget has been hired as assistant tour manager this summer to help
Wow.
wrangle this
Bravo.
situation. So we have B out with us, and
That's great.
that's my update. She's the latest addition to this wild and wacky
We're still,
tour.
everybody out there in people who want to know land, we're still wondering who's going to be on what bus.
Yes.
The Cowsills have kind of formally put in to give us some new people and we'll show them the ropes of the tour and put the veterans over with the band. And that's kind of where we're heading mentally. But
We've kind
that's
of offered ourselves up as ambassadors to the new guys.
yeah.
You can
Okay,
tell
that's
them.
awesome. And so, if anybody knows, so how many people are involved? I know the chef guy's probably one, right?
I think, but is it true? One, let's say it is one.
Okay. Now, what
Boy,
do you
he's
know
going to be
about
lonely.
the Trogs?
Four.
Four.
So
Yes,
we're up to
four.
five.
Okay, and then what about the Fortunes?
Four.
Four.
Seriously.
We're up
I'm,
to
I'm,
eight.
I'm
No, we're up to
speaking.
nine.
I'm speaking what I was told. All right.
Now,
Yeah,
then let's
yeah.
put our Vogues in. So we're at
Okay,
Three.
9, 10,
three,
11, 12,
three,
Three
and we are
Cowsills.
three.
Three of some
13,
And
kids.
Gary's
14,
one.
15,
Ron
16,
Dante's one.
17,
And
and
three
then
of
the
some kids.
association 18, 19, 20.
And then, so now 20. 24 fills both buses. Now let's keep going. 20 with artists, right? Dorian,
Yeah.
Rachel, Ron,
Bridget and
Carl,
Carl.
Bridget.
That's
That's
it.
five more.
So
What are we?
25.
25.
However,
25.
we know the Vogues are driving and all three of them
Oh,
are
forgot.
driving.
And
That's right.
Gary will drive
Gary.
Gary's going to
and
drive.
then probably with.
Some of these Fortunes are the Trogs. They may
Yes.
know each other.
Yeah, maybe. Everyone seems
Well,
You know,
to.
these are the things. Look, it's like going to camp for us, y'all. Like this year,
right.
especially because this is our first year without our leader, Mark. We are a new Happy Together package regime. It's going to be beautiful. I promise you all that.
Well,
But go, Bob.
yeah,
It's
check what
unknown.
else happened with this tour. So you guys, you remember we did the Abbey Road on the River, the Beetle Festival 4 years ago, and we never got it again. We would always say, why didn't we get that again? That was
Yeah.
such a great event. And we always said, we know why, because of the Happy Together tour. Well,
Right.
here's an
Yeah.
example. Here's an example, guys. So we booked the Abbey Road on the River for the 23rd and 24th of May initially, 2 nights. Okay, that gets traded to the uh, uh, from the 22nd, 23rd to the 23rd and 24th, and then guess what we find out? The Happy Together tour starts on the 23rd in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we have to be in Biloxi, Mississippi. So our agency, Paradise, and this is kind of an update for Paul and Susan because I did hear from them when we put this out, like what's going
It's an
on?
update on our own show.
Was that they're working on it. Okay, so at this point, we're supposed to be in Biloxi on the 23rd, and then get on a plane the 24th and be in Abbey Road on the River the 24th and 25th, and get on a plane the 26th and get to Jacksonville for the Happy Together tour on that night. That's the plan.
So are we no Biloxi?
We are not confirmed. We're confirmed for Biloxi. Where the cog is at the Beetle Festival. They're working on that. So let's wait till they come up with what their
Whoa,
decision.
whoa, whoa, whoa. So do we go from Happy Together to Beetle Fest back to Happy Together?
Ideally, yes. Yes. But if there's some trouble with scheduling, because this is the third time we're going to change the dates of the Beetle Festival for whatever reason.
Well,
But this is what they're working on. This is, I think, why here's an example of the kind of problem you can get, So we'll see.
well, I think, we're not the first band that has had to miss a couple of Happy Together shows in a summer for another gig that kind of conflicts or whatever, by our own wonderful, very wonderful booking agent.
That's true. And I'd like to report on something very important. I have personally confirmed, and this is out of the box, that Susie Q's are back and they are fantastic. So I'm just letting people know the Susie Q, they got rid of them. Then when they first brought the Susie Q back, you guys, they didn't have enough white filling. Okay. Okay. So the company said, oh, sorry. Now they came back again with all that white filling. You got to remember Susie Q's. We bought them instead of Hostess cupcakes. They're better.
Twinkies or any of that.
Susie Q.
Round?
It was a big rectangular with a bunch of white cream, and they brought them back, and they're very popular now. So that's pretty good. The other question I have is anybody else besides me between Thursday and Monday going to watch 8 playoff football games? Paul put his hand up.
Immediately.
8 one and done. 8 one and dones. That is my kind of football,
Hey, Bob, how about that Chicago game?
I couldn't.
With the 2 missed field goals, and
I couldn't
been watching.
It's been wild. I felt so bad for the first guy that missed the extra point. I said, oh, they're going to have to help him if they lose by 1, and they were about to. And then the next guy bails him out. The other kicker bails him out by missing his field goal. And I'm going, what an
incredible
ending. Oh,
incredible.
God. The fate of his entire organization went home on his foot, and he's got to get over that.
Yes, and they both went right, okay, and they were both short, but they went right like a knuckleball. It's just ball was...
They're like curveballs. I know. They're
crazy.
What do you guys know about pickleball?
It's loud.
The rave of the rave, and it's like wiffle ball. So the ball, you can hit it as hard as you want. It's only going to go so far. And that's a wiffle ball kind of thing. And then they've got the paddle that is almost like a ping pong paddle, but it's a bigger thing, and it has a certain cover on it that makes this a tight, easy game for anybody to play.
Okay, Nick's been doing
but it could be in the Olympics. It could. That's how famous it is.
Like curling.
The main complaint is that it is very loud. Okay, this is
like highlight.
They smacked this plastic ball, and man, this is a loud event. Okay, so just be ready for that.
I'm not going to be going. I will be going.
You know what I saw on TV a few days ago? I saw the wiffle ball championship. Have you ever watched that? What they do with that ball when they?
Oh my God! To know about it, Bob.
It's unbelievable.
The pitcher.
It's unbelievable.
The ball will be behind the batter, and it'll hit the strike zone.
It's
for a strike.
It's fantastic.
Should we tell everybody who our guest is?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Family Week.
We have reconnected and brought together the band from the Cars Are Kids television commercial. I know you've all been wondering about them.
What?
We found them, and we're going to bring them back.
What are you talking about?
Sorry.
You are wild.
That's my latest obsession. Don't you see that commercial?
What is it?
On. The Cars Are Kids, where they don't hit the drum and they're barely playing the gear. 1-800-CARS for Kids.
I
haven't seen that yet.
Oh, that must be a California moment, Paulie.
Listen, it's still on TV. God, the drummer never hits a drum. This is from 2014. We got to find these kids and get them on our podcast and find out.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm serious. Anyway, we do have a guest today.
Yes. We have our very own cousin, Fred Presley, who, of course, the DNA of the music runs deep in our family on our mom's side, because that's where we got it, because we all pretty much know it was not from Dad. And so our cousin Fred is our mom's sister Flo's kid, one of 10. And he's a great musician. He's also a very well-rounded young man and has had many adventures and and he's just a trip. But he's got a new record out. I think it's his first like released record. He's made recordings, of course, and
I will only say that with Fred, singing is, you know how most singers have a day job. Well, with Fred, he's got the real job. Singing is his day job. It's really hard to explain how upside down that is. But this is a man with a varied number of careers.
Yes.
Okay. And in association with that, he's got this other thing that he does that he says keeps his sanity. So we'll talk to him about that. Yeah. But yeah, our family has a lot of, have a lot of, I mean, we got Timmy Brooks, the crooner, right?
Crooner at large.
Is he our crooner? Yeah.
He's our crooner at large. And then we have cousin Ned Kemble, who is a great songwriter and singer and
brother of Mark Kemble, which we'll talk. We should have them on. We can talk about Mark's play. Mark had a play that became a movie that's on freaking Netflix. So there's a lot of talent in the family.
Yeah.
We're going to start peeling the family onion back and get flush some of these people out.
We were trying to do it over holidays, but it didn't work out because holidays and family felt good. But New Year and family feels good. I mean, it just feels good. You know.
And so, Bob, what is that Netflix thing by Mark?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, it's cool. It's about, you know, and he wrote it about his family. Honey Lane and their Dee Dee and their family and Dee Dee, having a special needs kid in the family and what that was like. Okay. You growing up.
Find the name of it.
It's Fred will be able to tell us. He'll know.
I'll look it up.
He's a young man with knowledge, that Fred Presley. And his wife owns now a flower farm. You know, between your wife getting her horse dream and now Kelly Presley getting my flower, I always wanted my own flower shop, but she's growing them and on this like a rather large quantity.
Wow.
Yeah, she does that, which is so cool.
What flowers are they?
Like you name it, and really wildly amazing, like florist flowers.
It's called Bad Hurt.
Bad Hurt. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's Mark's play. Yeah, we went down and saw it live on Fairfax or something.
Bob, me, you, and Richard met at that Playhouse. Do you know that?
And saw them.
Yeah, Rich. I don't know. I drove with Rich in a truck to see that. I don't know how or why. Paul,
because Mark was there. We saw Mark. He was
for
there
sure.
Too.
But like you, we weren't hanging. I don't know what time of life that was, but it was. Like maybe we were all living up in the La Crescenta area, Paul, because Dickie, like. Was
that longer than 21 years ago?
Oh, hell yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 21 years ago is Katrina. This is like 41, 50.
we want to let's formally welcome everyone back after the holidays because
Happy New Year.
We had to take a break because our podcast studio went down. It had a flood. And it just ruined everything. But now we're back up and going. And we decided just to shut down. Everyone else in the industry does. No one was around. Yeah. You know,
you know us Cowsills, we'll take a snow day any day.
But we have a bunch of guests coming up. We're back on it. We're back on track. We have gigs. We're going to be at the Golden Nugget January 30th. It's our residency. So
Charlene, actually, Bob, Charlene from Vegas called me today, literally on the phone, called me. And I go, hello, this is Paul. And she goes, hey, this is Charlene. I go, Charlene, how are you doing? And she goes, just calling you. We got a residency situation here. And so you guys are up again.
We're up again?
Yeah. You know, she's calling us a mini residency.
We love it.
It's so cute. Yeah. Like they love to do that. I don't know why they love us so.
See, now, let me tell you something. If we have, let's say we have Bob Merlis back. This is a headline, Cowsills Command Vegas Residency.
Yes, Donnie Osmond retires, Cowsills Command Vegas Residency. That's what I do.
Right.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Fill in for Barry Manilow while he is on hiatus because, Barry got sick.
I know.
So now he's had to cancel stuff. We should be the group that's always ready in the wings. Apparently, all the older ones.
On the bench, ready to go.
Fill in.
Start dropping left and right, I think.
Hey, you guys, that's usually how I get my Jazz Fest gigs in town. Is Rob Savoy will be like, "Hey, can you play this Saturday?" I'm like, all of a sudden I'm at Jazz Fest because somebody else.
They have an empty stage.
Yeah, he knows he can call me, but I actually got my Jazz Fest by myself.
Do us a favor. And
Yes.
we have told you what the Cowsills are up to in January 30th at the Golden Nugget. What is the Susan Cowsill Band, the Continental Drifters, and the Riverbenders up to in January? Go.
I don't know.
Well, look at your calendar. You're playing.
I have no idea. I'm being honest. You know me,
All
guys.
right, guys, you'll have to go.
Oh, I have a gig on the
Is
9th.
there a SusanCouncil.com?
I'm sorry. I have
No.
a Susan Cowsill gig on the 9th. I do. That I know.
Where did they go to find out where you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have it. I'm like Facebook. I'm not that gal. I just play.
All right. No social media on Susan.
I really don't. Like,
No,
other than my brother and
SusanCouncil.com.
sister, who are very much alive and well on social media and know everything they're doing, I still don't know what I'm doing the next week.
All right, then January 30th. That's it. Except I think they're on a cruise. You might check that
Oh,
out.
shit.
Look up her name, maybe.
Big
don't
Easy
know.
Cruise. Big Easy Cruise, Bob. Big Easy
The Big
Cruise.
Easy Cruise. Is that what we're doing?
That's what's
when?
next. That's right. That's right. That's in a couple of weeks.
What's
few
the
weeks.
date? Is it before
is.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Nothing collides.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
no,
before-
I'm not looking for collision.
Oh,
I'm looking
yeah.
for when you're doing it.
I
Just,
think it is.
It's
and
like
do you
the
guys
third-
go to the Caribbean?
I don't know me. I don't know
It's
where
like
we're
the
going.
It's like the 16th through the 23rd, Paul. Something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see Herb Albert on the 16th, so it must be the 17th. That's right.
Or
We're
the
leaving.
17th.
Herb Albert is
around
playing
that
in
time.
town.
Yeah, it's around that
Oh,
time.
yeah. Right on. I get it. I was in the wrong month too.
That's
And
okay.
then-
That's okay.
Very
And look,
good.
I just got through New Year's. I just got through the Christmas thing, and now we just had Russ's birthday and Nick's birthday. Okay, and Sydney's
Yeah.
is coming up on the 8th. So, like, man, there's so much going on all the time, y'all. All
Okay,
the
no
time.
gigs right now. In February, we have the Odeum in East Greenwich, Rhode Island on February 20th, the Cutting Room in New York City, February 21st, and the Suffolk
Steve,
Theater,
we're
which
coming
is a
back.
trio show out on Long Island on the 22nd. That's that weekend. Okay.
Not
So
the
a trio
23rd?
show at the end
Not
of
the
that.
23rd?
20, 21, 22. That Sunday's the 22nd, I think. If Sunday, whatever that Sunday is.
Oh,
February,
that's the day we're playing. So it's right after the cutting room.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Boom, boom, boom.
I
So
got you.
the rest of the band will go home, and we'll keep moving.
That is true, very true for you.
Now,
because
will we stay
it
with
reminds me
Ira?
of it reminds me of the cruise, the Flower Power cruise is coming. But me, Paul, and Susan, we take on a trio gig before, and so we fly to the trio gig. The band
We're
flies
crazy
to the
that
cruise.
way.
It's the way it goes. And then the Beatle Festival. We go to the Happy Together tour, the three of us, but the band goes to the Beatle Festival. Then we fly in and meet up with them in the Beatle Festival. And this is the new way of how we're doing things. But we'll get into all the gigs,
How
gigs
far is
coming
Suffolk
in the
from New
spring.
Jersey, Guttenberg?
Paul leans in, he thinks we can't hear him. We hear him louder. But
That's
anyway,
awesome.
It's an hour and 56 minutes in Suffolk.
So
But
probably
we could,
not.
but we could stay at Ira's the first few days because we're going to
Okay.
be right there.
All
yeah,
right.
we'll work that out. Hi,
Yeah.
Ira. I wonder if
Okay.
Ira listens to our podcast.
At least a
I don't
giant
know.
piece of us could. If not all of us, a big piece of us could. I'm trying to
Oh,
think
that is
where we're
funny.
going to stick Mary.
Hey, where's the Odeum in Massachusetts?
East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
It's Greenwich. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
East Greenwich, Rhode Island. They have a lot of good groups there, actually. In fact, the Smithereens with our brother John played there a few months ago, I think, if I'm not
Ooh.
mistaken. So the
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Together dates are coming out, folks. We
Oh,
already
God.
have the Birchmire for 2 nights. Remember that place? We had it,
Early.
but it's real early. It's in June.
That's that supper clubby place with the red carpet.
I think is that what that was? The Birchmire? Or
Yeah,
maybe
when we
it's
go
another-
up the side, the ramp where all the people are here. And
Yeah, I remember that. That was Birchmire. Okay. Thought that might have been Alexandria, but I don't know. Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it might be both.
But I want to say something because we're already getting emails to the website. Why aren't you coming here? Why aren't you coming from Happy Together people?
Oh,
People, listen to
we
me.
have nothing to
They
do.
publish June and some July dates. They don't want to publish August dates. Those places want to publish their June dates, okay? And it's not us. So just because we're not listing August dates certainly will never mean there aren't any. You know the tour. It's 60 cities. It's going to rock
But
and
I have
roll
a question.
all through the whole thing again. So we will come to your city.
My question is if we're starting so early and we're ending at the same time, does this mean we've effectively added another week to our summer?
70 cities. It's going to be a record. It's we're bringing a physician on the road, and he's demanding.
I hope so.
So that's okay.
That is going to be crazy.
Yes, Bridget's taken a medical course, and she's also going to be able to facilitate.
Actually, we actually decided to hire for the tour a sports medicine specialist. Yeah. This is what this is. This is like an athletic event, folks.
Oh,
yeah.
Wish us luck. Hey,
I'm on knee injections to get up those 3 flights of stairs so I can hop up and do it quickly. So we need to bring someone along there. Hey, but listen, here's the deal. Because we're starting to hear from people also about this. How can you now everyone's going to do 3 songs and there's kind of a thing about is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough? But think of it this way. Here's how I thought of it. If you have the same 6 groups and we do the same 4 each, you get 24 of the 6 groups. Okay, like normal. Yep. Now you have 8 groups. Okay. Now, but you have the 5 groups, and okay, they do 3 songs, but now you're going to get 9 new songs from the 3 new groups that you didn't before. So now you've really expanded the songs, okay, in the show by 9 new songs. And that's how I look at it, like we can give up, we can fly for You've Got Your Troubles. You know what I mean? I'm into it. I can't
believe you got the Trouble guys are going to be there. That's why.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm going to turn my AC up a little higher before Cuzzy gets here.
Yeah, we're going to have Eddie Mooney. Eddie Mooney's he seems to be the leader of the Fortunes, when I look him up. And he's the guy, he kind of reached out from us from across the pond, saying, hey, they're coming on the tour. They're looking forward to it and all that kind of nice stuff. So I thought that was cool. And then he said, he chatted up with us on the podcast. And because I want to ask him, man, I say, okay, Eddie, how did you end up getting your entire band to go with you? Now, his answer is, well, we had those 3 harmonies. I said, yeah, but that's not how this thing works, Right. We all have harmonies,
Yeah.
But we could ask Ron that, but I want to ask Eddie because
let's see what his perspective is.
I thought you said Eddie Money, and I'm like, when was Eddie Money in the Fortune?
Well, when it said Eddie Money, when I looked up the Fortunes, I thought it was Mooney was a misprint. And I thought, no, wait a minute.
And then you thought, Eddie Money's coming out. Go, baby, hold on to me.
No, I thought Eddie Money going, I see that worried look upon. I said, yeah, Eddie could sing that. Right? Eddie Money and the Fortunes. I'm there.
That's funny.
Who knew?
That's funny. Hey, when we were counting people, did we, on this 29, is that counting the band?
No.
Right.
We forgot the band.
Yes, 4 more.
Oh my gosh.
So we're up to 30, 29, 30, 31, 32.
I'm going to get a count from I'm going to get.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Happy Together Circus will be coming to your town.
Yep, 33 people.
Wow. We want a third
plus
bus.
The 2 bus drivers.
Can one of you 2?
We should get a third bus.
Head, body,
because I agree.
Well,
people.
All right, Gary drives. Troy.
Back to me. We are.
So the Vogues are driving.
Yep.
And Royce is going with him, I'm told. So he's committed to that. And so you take 3 Vogues off and you put 3. I don't know how they're going to do it. I can't wait to see how it comes down. And besides, we don't know if any of the Trogs or the Fortunes or Jason Sheff drive.
We don't.
We don't know that.
To assume. Okay, let's do this.
And the other thing is we got to make sure that they understand that they have hotel rooms and they need to be in them.
Holly, I saw that. And also, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, good. Here comes Fred.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is our cousin Fred. Fred Presley. There
he is.
Look, he looks like his online photos. It's amazing.
Well, I'm pretty much sure we do too, Bob.
No. This is a dead lookalike right here, man. I'm telling you. I just looked at him.
You're a dead ringer for you, Fred.
It's all AI.
It's not even Fred.
Deep fake. Sorry.
You know what? We would never know. And that's scary. Hi, Fred Presley.
Hey, Fred, I got to tell you something real quick before we get into your world and your life.
Okay.
I got the because of you. Okay, I went and I got it. I guess it's now a couple of years or a year ago, and it was by Kohler because I couldn't get Generac to come to the farm and do my walkthrough and tell me what it is. And so I called Kohler, and man, they were there the next day, and it's worked 5 times. We've had power out 5 times. And everybody in this whole area was going, wow, why are you spending so much money on that? I go, because I don't want Luann to have to be pulling a generator out of the garage. Yeah. And then you only get 1 plug, but they couldn't get it. And then, I'm sorry to take up your time, and so then when it goes out, I call all of these people and I can't get them because they have no electricity. And so it's been the best. 5 times in the last year, 8 months. Yeah.
I have a question.
Wait, okay, go ahead, Bob. And then I do too. Go, you first.
With all due respect to this fascinating story, what's the Fred connection?
Fred has it.
Yeah. And Fred must have advised.
He was the first guy I ever saw. I was at his house and he had the Generac. And from that day on, man, it was like I couldn't get it off my brain or out of my body.
All right. So known for so many things, of course, in his life, and now added to it as Paul's mentor in Generac versus Kohler is our cousin, Fred Presley. So everybody, welcome, Fred.
Nice.
Fred Presley, not related to Elvis. Let's just clear it up.
Actually, we are.
At the end, they really were.
By the way, we'd like to introduce our cousin Fred Presley, related to, by the way, the famous Elvis. Fred, you want to take us through that?
Yeah, you got to start there.
Yeah. We actually go back to about 1860s when the 2 brothers Pressler came to America from Germany. Their father in Germany was owned a winery, and they came here and they went their separate ways once they got to New York. One went down to North Carolina, the other went further south into Mississippi, Alabama area, and they both ended up down in that general area eventually, or the families did. But one of them was Elvis's great-great-grandfather, and the other one was our
God.
Okay, and did they raise chickens?
Probably.
Yeah,
what
right.
What made you say that? But here's what's funny about this.
Because Uncle Donald had chickens.
Well, when we were kids, they used to say, just to taunt us, you guys are all whatever, but we're related to Elvis Presley. And it was a lie. And Susan really used to sell it. But you all didn't know then that it was true. So I just want to clear that.
But listen to his story, though. I mean, it's an amazing story. It'd be like us sitting here going, yeah, and then, our great-great-grandfather, he came over with John Lennon's great-great-grandfather. So we're kind of related to the Beatles.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Sure. Yeah, no. None of it matters, but it's just kind of cool.
No, it was cool.
I think Susan, get us going here.
Okay. Hi, Fred Presley.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, and welcome to the Cowsills podcast.
Thank you.
I don't know.
It's great to be here.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with our podcast.
I've seen quite a few episodes, actually.
Okay, good. Then you probably know what's coming. And the irony of me opening up our podcast the way I always do is that I know most of the answers to the questions I'm about to ask young Fred Presley.
Okay.
No, I kind of do. Well, and maybe a couple I don't. But
ask one.
Well, I'm gonna. We're having Fred on today mostly as an artist because Fred has just released a record. I think is it the first time you've released an actual album?
It's the first time I've released a solo.
A solo album. Okay.
So released one under a band as a band back 2014.
And you've pretty much been a musician all your life that I know about. Yeah. So we have Fred here today as an artist mostly. We're going to get to find out about a bunch about him. But I take everybody back to their youth, Fred, to their younger days. And this is a good question for you. When you were young, Fred, I know there was music in your house. I know your mom sang, right?
always.
Always. And
Ah.
so when you're young, Fred, are you thinking in your head at any point about music in any kind of way, or are you just one of 10 little Indians and you're just running around pell-mell? And if you didn't think about being a musician, what did you think about being
Oh,
fireman?
I think I thought about it at a very young age because, like, when I was 2, Mom told me the story of my lovely sister Patricia taking me into her room and cutting my hair like your relative, the Beatles. And, um, and yeah, and so, giving me the perfect little Beatle haircut, and and playing the music all the time. Music was always playing in the house.
Okay. So
And I
you,
could pick a brother, and I can tell you what they were listening to, or sister.
Gotcha. But at that time, when you were getting going, so did, like Auntie Flo, she's singing all the time.
Yeah.
Were you guys singing with her? Were you harmonizing with her?
We were never harmonizing with her because she was singing stuff like, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, or, the
Oh, okay.
famous song,
Maresy Dose and
or,
Dozy
or,
Dotes.
or Engelbert Humperdinck songs. It just wasn't my
Got ya.
jam. But, we were certainly singing along with, the Beach Boys albums, the Beatles albums,
Yeah.
that's,
Did y'all ever sing with one another coming up as kids?
I remember as a kid, Danny always being on the porch with his buddy Fred, and them playing, bluegrass music, playing John Prine, playing that stuff. So I learned those songs at a very young age, and
Oh, wow.
sing along, off to the side. He's the little annoying kid, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it was always in the house. So,
Okay.
and then you guys popping in, all
Well,
the
there's
time
that.
too, and and always playing. I remember Billy showing up and playing and showing me how to, a couple notes on the harmonica, and, strumming the guitars and stuff like that. And I still have a harmonica and a harmonica holder that he gave me.
Oh,
He
Oh,
said, "Here, you got to
Wow.
learn this." Yeah.
you keep it.
because
Wow.
Bill was in Rhode Island. Like we were talking. Okay, so also you grew up. Where were you born, Fred?
In Alabama,
But
Montgomery.
and then oh, that's right. You were a
Remember
Bama
the
boy.
Bama days? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because Uncle Don was a policeman. Is that right, Fred?
Yes, he was.
Uncle Don was a policeman. So you all come up in Alabama, and there's music in your house, and I know huge family, so there's not a lot of focus and a lot of direction either. People aren't being taken to ballet and tap in our worlds. So, all right. So the family is coming up. You guys get moved to Rhode Island, right?
Mhm.
Now you're is still in school age. You guys moved to Rhode Island. I think our dad actually brought the family out, Paul, for the Happy Valley moment,
That's right.
the campground moment.
Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
there's a song about that on the album. Go
There
ahead.
is.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, there is.
Yeah, Happy Valley days. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Dad, Paul, I don't
It's
know,
brutal. All right, go ahead.
Fred, Dad, what did Uncle Bud? Why were you guys being brought out there? What was your understanding?
So, Happy Valley was this great idea for a campground, and so they had developed a business plan, and they had the old farmhouse on the farm, and then they were building various. It was going to be like a camp families would go to, and there was like a clubhouse, and there was going to be a bar and restaurants and all this
Pretty
great stuff
cool.
there. And so I remember playing in the partially built clubhouse building all the time. It was all
Wow.
framed. There was a roof on it, but the rooms weren't done, and there was some wiring, but nothing was connected. There were showers, but no pipes. Shower stalls. That kind of
Now,
thing. But as a
I have
kid,
a
that was
question.
awesome.
I have a question now, just so everyone knows. Fred's referencing post Cowsill career, kind of in Exeter, Rhode Island, a place that Dad, I guess, bought her. So anyway, that's where they're all hanging out. And Fred am I wrong? I heard. I really was out of the picture during those days, but I had heard that part of the plan was also, and this was kind of ahead of its time, was to have a kind of a school of rock there where kids came in and learned the guitar, or that's what I had heard anyway. Somebody had mentioned that to me.
I would not doubt that at all, but I don't know that
That is
specifically.
a familiar story to me.
Yeah.
It's a vague
Yeah.
one.
And just so you know,
Yeah.
there's 10
Oh.
kids. Are you from 10?
Yeah,
right?
I'm the ninth of 10.
Okay, I got to tell everyone for me and Fred. Okay, now here's me and the Presley family. It's called Patsy, Donald, Tommy, Danny, and then I don't know anybody's name. Okay, and I'm serious. As I'm getting older and growing up, it's like I can't keep track of the Presleys. I know the top four, and that's age-related knowledge even to this day. Even so, I'm kind of late to the game when Fred comes up, and he's like a pub singer. Now listen, this guy Fred, he has a career, people. He's a smart guy. Okay, he's got military, he's got Australia in his background, he's got a bunch of stuff going on, so he's a solid guy with a career and manages cities and does stuff.
He's a
So
city planner.
Yeah, he's a lot.
City
so
manager.
his day
City
job
Manager.
Oh,
his
city
day
manager.
job-
Yeah.
yeah, his day job is as a pub singer. So we find this out, and it's now parallel is this entire other Fred. So that's what we're getting into today.
Right.
Yeah.
But right before that, so Fred, so you had to go, so you went to college, and what was your major to steer you into managing cities?
So when I first got out of the Army, I went to college for environmental science because I was just into the whole environmental scene. That's the first song on the album.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
cool.
after that, I started working in that field, working for like Department of Environmental Management in Rhode Island and doing some other work. And then ended up in environmental planning, which led to city planning. And then once I got at the city level, I realized that there weren't a lot of good bosses that were running the cities, and it frustrated me. And to the point where I went back and got my master's degree in public administration, figuring I could do this better.
Well, now wait, in a
Right.
paragraph, tell us what that meant. Run a city. All right, run a city.
So basically, you'd think of a city like a company, right? And so in the town, the city I'm in, it's called a town, but town of Wethersfield, Connecticut. It's about 27,000 people, densely populated. We're just outside of the city of Hartford. And so everything that the city does, from fixing the roads, plowing the snow, fixing sidewalks, running, making sure the schools are operating,
Stoplights.
having the trash picked up, doing parks, recreation programs, police departments, fire departments, emergency, ambulance services. All that stuff falls under the city, and I am basically the CEO of that company that runs all that.
And you
Gotcha.
found time to write a song?
Oh, he's a trip.
No,
You're
but
nuts.
hey, we'll get back to the music, but real quick about since you got into this part of your life. So it says, so he's a military vet, environmental planner, a whistleblower. That's an interesting adjective.
Yeah.
But this is the one I want to ask about because I had no idea what this meant. It says you are a systems thinker. Now,
Yeah.
I never thought to major in systems thinking. I don't know what it is. What is systems thinker?
So systems thinking is basically it's very tied into my science background, my environmental science background, and it's ecological systems thinking. So basically, the idea is that everything in the world is a system of systems. And if you think of the natural world, you can, in the olden days, they would study habitats by like putting little blocks around them and just studying the trees that grow in this type of forest and only study what's in there to learn about them and learn how to manage it. But that's not how you manage something, because it's impacted by everything around it, the system around it, and then the system around that, and the system around that. And so systems thinking, it was an ecologist that kind of led this move to get everybody kind of thinking on this way. And the way that happened was he was doing a sabbatical in, I believe it was Russia. And what they did was they brought in experts in all these different fields to live in this castle, for lack of a better word, for like 6 months and try to deal with problems together. So they had physicists, and they had
Wow.
ecologists, and they had
A
economists,
think tank.
and they had, you know, all these different experts that never worked together before, and you know, in these, but they were forced to kind of work together and come up with solutions. And what they realized was, we've been doing everything wrong in our own little boxes and not looking at the whole picture.
Oh,
So systems
Well,
thinking
there it
is about
is.
getting
Like
multiple perspectives.
homeopathic kind of like, or it's like
It's all connected, so we've got to look at it that way.
sure,
That's what
sure.
system thinking
Okay.
What's that movie about the farm, the sustainable farm movie, that Big Little, what was it? Oh, oh, y'all. And
was
they,
good.
they everything they planted had this cause and effect. And then finally they started to understand, and then they started creating toward that, so that the eco of it would, you know, when the wolves came and ate the things from the berries from the tree, that the birds, and they're like, ah, you know, but instead of just completely freaking out, they couldn't fight it, so they started feeding the process of it and nurturing that. And I can't remember the name. I wish Russ was here.
Now,
And, you know, it's funny because I was doing a project in this world in Australia years ago, and one of the Aboriginal members on the team that we had put together came up, you know, after we kind of explained the systems thinking, how we're going to do this, and she basically came up and said, "My people have been doing this their entire
Yeah.
lives. This is what we
yeah.
do." And it's like, well, yeah,
Wow.
absolutely right.
Wow.
Indigenous people have been doing this forever.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
so
It just
so
takes us generations to figure it out.
so when does the systems thinker meet Fred the musician? I mean, at what age are you going, because you're going to become a pub singer? That's a little more serious than a side thing, okay? Because that's a commitment. I did that for 23 years, and you did it for decades. So you're going to become a really working musician. When does it start? How old are you when you start really playing songs? You say, you know what, I got this other thing too.
That's a good question. I mean, this was, to me, you know, putting this record together was, you know, kind of a bucket list thing. I really need to do this. Number one, that first song, that Sympathize,
Yes.
environmental
Yeah.
song. I mean, I really felt like, just given the state of the world today, you know, I've had the song for decades, literally. I wrote that when I was in college.
Wow.
Oh.
And I just haven't never done anything with it, because the bands I was with, it just didn't fit, you know, they wouldn't groove on something like that. And I was like, but I'm like, I'm doing the song, I'm going to do a video for it, and I'm putting it out. And while I'm at it, I'm going to record 9 other songs and actually make an album of it. Because I've got probably
So the
5 or
system
6 dozen
thinker.
songs that I've never done anything with. So just
Okay, so since you brought it up, Sympathize, that's the song you talk about that starts that album off, and you do have a video of it. And look, this album's called Our Selfish Ways. Now going in, I'm feeling like, oh man, I'm not gonna come out looking good here. So, but I went in anyway, right, Paul? But
Yeah.
and right off the bat, Sympathize. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's like, this guy's killing me. But I have a question about the recording, because it's a really good recording. Is that I know you worked with a guy, Eric Lichter. Is that his name? Eric Lichter. Is that Eric on the lead guitar part on that Sympathize?
Eric,
is that you? Or
Eric plays all the instruments except for the acoustic guitar that I play. You know, I play acoustic guitar and I sing. You know, you know, Sue knows Eric. She did a little show at his studio.
Yeah, did a house concert at his kind of studio area.
And it was just he's just been a friend for years, and he's
a great
like
guy.
People I
good
would have
job
trusted with doing this. And he just, I walk in there, I said, here's the raw song. You know, I hear these instruments on it. What do you hear? And he'll say, how about this? And we'll just kind of go back and forth, and he'll just lay it down and say, how do you like that? Jazz that up a little, you know, we'll just work through it. And it's just,
I'll make one last suggestion on that first song, Sympathize, because I did it this way. And I don't usually, when I first hear songs, I hear songs. I don't hear lyrics. I don't hear melody. I hear songs. But on Sympathize, I did read the words first. And if you go to your website, frederickpresley.com, I think. Okay, with a
Fred Presley, yeah.
Yeah, Fred Presley. But anyway, if you go there, you can see the lyrics real quick. If you read the lyrics to Sympathize, it'll prepare you a little better for going in you won't take the punches so hard, you know.
Kind of heavy. It's kind of heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy. He doesn't pull out any, you know.
And
And then the seagull soars. I have no idea what that's about, but I love it. Okay. And I read that it's like a poem. Okay. And I was never good at poetry, you know.
it's the only song that I've ever written that started as a poem.
Ta-da!
Whoa, Bobby! Look how the camera moved in on Bob when he went ta-da.
No,
It
but
looks
you know
like
what?
that
Why I do
Office
that?
show.
I did terrible with poetry. I read poetry. I go, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
And I go, I want to soar like a seagull. I can figure that part out. But
Yeah, so-
anyway, it was really
Go,
good.
Polly, let Polly
Well, it's
go.
funny because we've got Fred and we got Bob here. And Fred goes, you know, this is about the poetry and stuff. And so one time I was talking to Susan and I was reading her this thing, Hawks on the Line, you know, and Bob's back there and he goes, is that a poem? I go, well, yeah, but it's a song, you know. I mean,
He said,
but
"Is that a poem?"
songs are poetry in my
Yeah.
eyes, you know. So it was funny.
Poems always threatened me.
Um,
And that
Well,
song
silly.
actually, that song actually came as from a dream basically about reincarnation. So it's about somebody that lived 1,000
no,
years
I
ago and keeps
could
getting
see.
reincarnated through up to the present, and each
Yeah.
time gets more spiritually awakened until at the end kind of goes off and
well, that's kind of the hope, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh,
If
It's
the
a time,
Matterhorn is the last ride, whee!
it's a time travel song, but it really goes way.
I
way,
like
way
the One of These Days songs very much.
Do you have an album? Like, did
Okay.
you put it on vinyl, Fred?
Oh,
I haven't. I have not done the physical album yet. It's like I just put it out at the end of November, and so coming into the year, I do plan to press a few.
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
but I want to go back a little bit. What was the band, the Goat Milk Goat?
All right, way back then, the college days, it was Smelling the Goat.
Smelling the Goat.
That's the name of the band.
Cousin Fred brought me, you know, his original music, I think, for the first time, and then he presented it under this title. So I just wanted to pop him.
Yeah,
Because
so
I'm like, go ahead.
so we lived on. We had housemates at my now wife Kelly, and you all know Kelly.
Yes.
She lived with us at this house in college, and our housemate had goats. And so Kelly would always be out there playing with the goats, feeding them, and they're very playful. They're like dogs, you know. They're just like, they go for walks with us, and so. But then we had to go to band practice, and she'd always come to band practice with me. And we didn't have a name for the band yet, and my buddy had in the band had a cat, and it jumped up on Kelly's lap, and its face was glued to her pants, just sniffing like right up against it. And my buddy's like, "What the heck is that cat doing?" I said, "He's probably just smelling the goat." And then I'm like, "You will never hear that in a sentence ever again." And I said, "And what a great name for a band." And we laughed and joked about it. And then we said, "You know what? Why not?"
Oh, no.
Oh, that's funny.
right up there with Toad the Wet Sprocket. You
That's
know,
right.
one of the
it is.
Yeah.
more memorable names.
Hootie
More
and the
memorable
Blowfish. Why with these images?
Although you guys will appreciate that we had a gig at the Wharf Deli in Newport in the summer.
Oh, wow.
And we went to play, and they'd signed us. We went to play. It was a Saturday night. It was a great gig, and we're like, cool. So we're starting to load in, and the manager comes up to me and says, "Oh, but one thing, you can't play under that name." And we said, "Why not?" And she said, "Because it's too suggestive." I said, "Suggestive of what?"
Oh my goodness! Wow, creepy.
And
Okay,
she wouldn't let us. She wouldn't let us do it.
that's creepy.
Wow.
Well, now I
wonder
have
where
to.
she I want to know where she came from and what was called goat. Because
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So listen. So you're in college and you have this band,
Yeah.
and you're writing songs. Are you at that time in any way serious about what you're thinking? Anything even remotely close to? I don't need a job, and I don't need to go in the army. I don't need to do jack. I need to be smelling the goat.
Well, that was all after the army. So
Okay. So then take it like that.
But-
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I don't think so. Not at that point. I just wasn't.
Okay. Then was there a point? Is there been a point in Fred, the owner, the owner, co-CEO of the town, has there been a point all through all of that where you have said, God, I really would just like to try a career in, just like the rest of us, as it were.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, even though I'm getting at the advanced ages, I would say that I'm probably as close as I've ever been to that.
Okay.
That's why I did this album solo, and that's why that's why I invested in doing the video. That's why this whole
Okay.
project costs a fair amount in terms of both sweat and
Sure.
equity. So you guys know how
We
Yeah.
that
do.
rolls, and having the video done and all that, doing that professionally. So I did it because I want to kind of roll the dice and see
And
what
see
happens.
if, okay, that is beautiful because
Yeah,
you've been playing it all your life. You've been
my life.
writing,
Yeah.
you've been
Now,
playing. Go ahead, Bob.
do you agree? I don't know if you read about yourself, but you're out there. You're out. Now they're saying that you're gonna lead some folk resurgence or something. Seriously, I've read this about you that what you're involved with is gonna resurrect folk music and get involved in some. And I know that has a lot to do with your lyrics too, because folk music, we all know about folk music. But have you
Yeah.
read that
He's
about yourself?
classic folk protest rock.
They're
Well,
saying,
I mean, that's one of the reasons the Sympathize is a protest song. It's political. The video is a little political. It can be, looked at that way, I guess. It shouldn't be, because these issues should not be political. This is
yeah,
this is our life. This is our world. But they are, unfortunately, in the world we live in today. So, but it seems like where we live today, music artists that will write and do things to make that message, they're few and far between. Whereas, in the 60s, they were all over the place.
Well, I think that's what Bob
yeah.
was just saying, that
Yeah, absolutely.
you're
Yeah.
being kind of, well, Bob, what were you going to say? Because I haven't read that. What saying that he could be a,
Yeah, like folk, like especially with Sympathize.
Yeah.
And like I said, the lyrics driving that observation a lot.
Sure.
And I can
Absolutely.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Right.
it's
That's
really
pretty
good
cool.
stuff. I
And
mean,
early folk music was all about that. I mean, it was all about what's happening and
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
That
And,
was the mode.
you talk about, making a career. I mean, I would be just as happy if someone else like picked up one of the songs and made it a hit of theirs. That would be awesome.
sure.
I mean, because to me, it's about writing the songs and getting them out there
Well,
as
this
much as
is,
anything else. I'm not, I don't have anything close to the chops that you guys do, and always have. I just, and it's not something I've, worked on much because I haven't had the time. Frankly, I've been doing other things. So,
yeah, well,
no,
but it is what it is. But Dylan didn't have great chops either, and
exactly.
let me tell you something. Neil Young has made all of us marginal singers have faith.
Yes,
And by the
right.
way, because I hear this, I heard your stuff. I mean, no one's going to listen to this and think, "Oh, if this guy sticks out in another 20 years, he might get good." This stuff is fine.
No, it's really
it's very
good,
good.
Fred.
Are you going to put a band together? Are you going to at all perform this stuff?
I definitely want to do some shows with it, and I'm not sure how that plays out.
Yeah,
But
we don't do that. It's hard on us
Well,
too.
I want to know one thing. I want to follow this. How in the world did you like? So you set your sights. You said it's a bucket list. You knew you needed to make your record. I know about it. I did one too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's just a thing you want to.
I remember saying, Susan, just do it. Just do it. Come on.
Yeah, you punk. But like you're currently operating the town you live in. You go to work every day. How did you manage to write, record, produce, make a video, all that, and really, I mean, it clearly is a focused piece of work. I mean, it's beautiful. It's your thing, your swan, your and I just can't imagine with everything you do, how did you have to like burn night oil? Did you stay up late? Did you take time off? How did you do it?
Yeah, basically, I took a handful of days off here and there. Working with Eric Lichter at Dirt Floor was perfect, because I'm like, look, I'm going to take my time with this. I can't take huge chunks of time. I can't take days and days.
Right.
I can take a day here,
Right.
a day there. And basically, our goal when we got together was one day, one song.
Well, that's pretty good.
How
we
many
would
hours? How many hours in that day, Fred?
It would, we'd start at 10 o'clock and go to 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Tell us about Dirt Floor. They seem to be like, talent oriented kind of
Yes.
place.
Yeah, he's really singer-songwriter focused. He does bands and other things too, but I think his strength is really in working with singer-songwriters and basically bringing their vision to life. And
with
so
his
it was
he
a
has
fun
a
experience,
beautiful place.
but it took 9 months. But I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't have a deadline.
Right.
I didn't have, any kind of, record company saying, you got to get this done. I was like, it's going to get done.
Where's your single?
It's going to get done when it gets done. And it is what it is. And it's all
I'm
good.
a CEO.
Okay.
Yeah, Ted Mack, the singing city manager from
A CEO from
Wethersfield,
Hartford.
Connecticut. Hey, Fred, do you remember the first time that you branched into the brave new world and grabbed that guitar and put it on and performed in front of people? Not the living room. I mean,
yeah.
Question,
something.
Bob.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Probably when I was in the Army was the first time I really played in front of people. I got my first guitar. My brother Danny helped my parents get my first guitar when I was I was probably 13, 14.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
And got me a Yamaha guitar. And then in the Army, I was roommates with a musician, bass player, super precise kind of listening, kind of producer kind of guy.
wow.
And we would do performances, and we would do kind of like Weird Al-esque kind of spoof songs.
Okay.
Oh wow, parody.
For the whole
The
True.
troops, your
platoon.
gang, your platoon.
All right,
so
that's good.
We kind of became known for that, and it was a thing we did. So
That's pretty funny.
yeah.
Cool.
But in terms of performing my own stuff, it wasn't until I got to college. And when I got to college, I started playing in the bars and going to open mics initially, and then getting a band together, and then doing that. That's when it really all started for sure.
That's pretty cool.
And then after Smelling the Goat, it was Soul Whiskey was the album we did in 2014 with one of my Smelling the Goat bandmates, that we did an album of all originals too.
I love how you say that with a straight face. Smelling the Goat.
Smelling the Goat. It is what STG.
Hey, he could go now. The Fred Presley Experience. Parentheses. Yes, I'm related. It could be a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you can put that on your poster, like the guys who original singer for the Buckinghams, that kind of pointed out thing. You could throw Cowsills Cousin in there too.
Are you still pubbing?
I haven't done that in quite a while, probably since 2016, 2017.
That's been a while.
Yeah, I have to share one quick memory. The only time I saw Fred in a pub setting, he was the singer.
I was with you.
I know, Paul. I'm going to share this.
Okay.
So I'm going down, and I'm going to see Fred, and I'm in the middle of. I'm a pub singer. So I'm bonding on that level. So I'm a pub singer. Now, the one thing a pub singer is not going to do is sit in front of another pub singer in the front row and stare at him for 4 hours. Okay, so now I don't know what to do with myself. I'll never forget this night. I did not know what to do with myself. So I wasn't going to do that. So I said, okay, well, maybe I'll recede. So I remember Paul was going to eat something. I said, okay, I'm going to recede. I'm not going to stare at Fred all night. I'm going to recede and eat with Paul and listen to him. And Paul, I'll never forget this. I'm eating with Paul and I'm going, what am I doing here? I'm eating while Fred's singing. This is wrong. It was just, I'll never get over that night, Fred. I'm so happy I have an opportunity to share it with you, what I went through as a co-pub singer. It's like, what do I do with myself here?
Oh my God. What is your etiquette?
And then I didn't know what it was. And then at the end, I think we were asked to sing with him, and I was happy to do that. And I'd love to do that. And I'm going, oh my God, this is his scene, you know, like I don't want to bother him in his scene. This is his scene.
You're
Yeah.
It was
hilarious.
a very complicated night, Fred, but I did enjoy it very much.
It shouldn't have been that way because I would never look at it that way. I'd be like, more the merrier, jump in and go.
Oh my God. And you're singing everything I sing, of course. You know, I could have done the whole
Of
night. I could have done the whole night with you, you know.
Oh my God.
It was crazy. But man, I was so impressed. I said, oh my
Yeah, me
God.
too. I remember that night vividly, and I'm going,
Right.
wow.
And I remember
Freddie
and
is
what cousin
all
was
over this
and what
shit.
cousin was he? What cousin was he? Oh, he was number 9, man.
Bob.
He was number 9
Look at
Presley. I
Bob.
said, well, no wonder I didn't know him.
You said that a lot back in the day. Every time we'd run into you, and me and Paul and John would just be like, "Good God, with this guy, who this kid is."
Yeah. He's so
Hey,
funny.
after Tanya,
It's Pat's little brother. Okay.
Tommy, it all faded south, and man, everyone was just younger. Okay.
Oh, okay. I want to go back to this record just a little bit.
Okay.
Because I mean, so because it's a big deal when you finally put down what you consider to be your body of work, right? And you know, I know the family was really like moved by it. You know, there was the when you said something we say a lot. People ask us, like the last record we made, why are you guys making a record right now? Because we wrote a bunch of songs. It's and then you record them because that's the next thing you do. You know, it's like it's like a gestation. People who don't do it don't understand, and it often isn't to get anywhere or do anything. And you said it. I wrote these songs and I needed to put them down. Do you feel like you're cool now? Like you've said what you had to say? Or are you thinking you're just getting started on what you have to say and you just dig doing it as part of it being a part of who you are? This is also how you express how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, what I realized as I was doing this one, how many songs I wanted to do. And the 10 I didn't scratch the surface.
Okay.
Oh man, I really want to do that. Oh, but which one? And so I was hemming and hawing over which songs to put on it. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to do another one when this, you know, once I get through with this.
Yeah.
And does it provide what you're looking for by doing it?
It does. I mean, to me, it's really about, the joy of it is really that creative process and then hearing the finished product, because it's so different than when you first write it, when you have people in the studio and you have other people that kind of interprets things and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And,
oh yeah, that's the fun part, right?
Hammond organ. I never would have thought of a Hammond organ on that.
Yeah, that's perfect. Damn, I sound good.
Yeah, exactly. And so to go through that process, it's just that's really cool.
Your
listen to it afterwards. Yeah.
Your families, your siblings, people have heard this piece of work of yours, right?
Yeah.
And I have a question because, man, I mean, I thought Happy Valley Days, man, there's some brutal honesty going on there. Okay.
No kidding.
And I know who everyone is.
Yeah.
Now, so how did that go over in the family? Was that and just to tell the people, this is just an introspective, honest rendition of a part of Fred's life. And
yeah, you know, so I wrote this song, you know, because you know you'll appreciate this, I think, Bob. When I was growing up on the farm, I was a kid. The farm was the best place in the world. We could run around and play in the woods all day long. There were farm animals. There were farm equipment. It was just the coolest place in the world to grow up as a kid. And that's the memory I had of the farm. And years later, you know, I get out of the Army and I was getting ready to go to college and I was having coffee with Mom at the kitchen table. And I was talking about, oh man, I really miss the farm. And it was great, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she just looked at me. She goes, I hated that place.
wow.
And I was like, what? And she's like, I hated that place. And I'm like, what do you mean you hated it? And she said, that's where all the bad things happen. That's where, you know, your father got in that accident. And that's when the kids were all out smoking drugs. And that's where this was going, that, and we didn't have any money. And she just starts rambling. She starts crying.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God. And just like, so here's two people that lived in that same place that had completely opposite views of it.
Experience,
And
yeah.
and as I thought about it, I was like, I did start to remember, like I say in the song,
Yes.
mom crying.
Well, so
Yes.
did I while I
I've been
was
sitting up at
listening
the
to
top of
it.
the stairs listening to her cry and
Dude,
not really understanding why. And then, as a kid, you kind of go on and, you move on. But so I wrote that song after that conversation with mom years
Real
ago.
good. Yeah, real
And,
good.
but I would never play it for her for obvious reasons.
Man,
Right.
And I would
know,
never,
right?
and I would never have recorded it while they were alive. It just wouldn't have felt right
but
to
I
me.
got to tell you, like,
But
you really evoked, because I spent a lot of time on this farm with these guys
yeah,
while they were there. And I was older and I knew exactly what was going on down there. And your your depiction of Uncle Don and it was so spot on. And I remember thinking back in the day, because Uncle Don was really struggling back then. That was his
yeah,
worst time. And it's
absolutely.
interesting because we had a dad who drank, would over drink, but these are two different human beings. You see two different things in their soul while it's happening. And I remember being a kid thinking on the farm because I saw Uncle Don a couple of times just looking off, and it looked like he was crying. He was so wasted and just so
Yeah.
done. He reminded me of the guy in A Wonderful Life, Mr. Gower.
Yeah.
That's who he looked like
Pharmacist.
and felt like to me. That his energy was just beaten, and he looked, yeah, Paul, yeah, it was heavy down there. And but we had we were raising hell, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
I can be in both worlds,
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because, before that farm went down, I remember Dad coming to actually us little guys and saying, "Here, I'm taking your money, and we're gonna be doing this campground. And how does that sound to you?" And I'm going, "Well, whatever,
Sounded
dude.
great to me.
I was over this cat by then." But he took all the money and put it into that farm, and then I don't know what the
Our
hell
trust
happened. But
funds, me,
Lost
Paul,
them.
Barry, and John.
Okay.
yes,
Did you know
So-
that, Fred?
What's that?
Did you know that John, Barry, Susan, and Paul's trust funds all were taken and put into Happy Valley?
I did not know that. I knew he blew a lot of money. I didn't know it was coming out of your trust.
yeah.
But he
That
brought it
wasn't
to
his.
Paul.
But-
He brought the story. He brought to
Yeah.
Paul as the adult child with his money still in and he goes, "Look, I want to ask you this. I want you to go ahead and contribute with this, and you're going to be a part of it. And oh, by the way, I'm going to take your brother and sisters too." I don't remember him coming to me and seeing if it was okay with me if he took my money.
Funny.
And
But
in,
he asked Paul, but told him all at the same time.
and
Oh,
in
yeah.
the spirit of how you handle it, Fred, they are working on a song called "Dad's Selfish Ways." So,
No, but to be honest, like when Fred says like how fun, like I was older, but I was pretty young too. And when Dad said, and that was when they tricked me and said we were going for 2 weeks to Rhode Island, when what they really meant was you'll never see your bedroom or your friends again.
Okay.
And then we had a pretty good time down there. I mean, we really did.
Yeah.
It was, and Dad was like, "This is your campground," and I'm thinking, I didn't know at the time I had been financially put into it.
yeah, not young enough to just go. It is okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. We were in heaven, us kids. We were like, we're getting our own damn campground.
How do we get
That's
the city
funny.
of? How do we get
Yes.
the city of
Where do we-
Wethersfield? How do we get the city of Wethersfield to underwrite the Our Selfish Ways Tour 2026?
Hey, yeah, manage that. No, then he'll be accused of
You
corruption.
planning any more videos? Any? Now this is digital, right? You don't have a CD either, right? It's just digital.
Not yet. No, I am
yet.
going to do physical copies coming up in the new year here. But
I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with digital. Believe me, it's easy to get.
it's easy. I just wanted to get it out there, and so
Yeah,
now
you
it's out
did.
there. Actually,
Yeah.
it's so far. I don't know. We had like 4,000 streams on the album, which isn't
Dude,
too bad. And,
4,000
all.
people. That's pretty.
I love that.
streams, and we have, the video is starting to pick up now. It's because it's only been out for a little bit, so.
Well, we are now promoting it, and it was okay with Leland Sklar, so he wanted to come on and promote his book with us.
All right. So where do people find you?
Yeah, where
they
do we
find
get you?
everything?
So they could find my website's fredpresley.com, and so the link to the videos up there, the whole album's up there with all the lyrics, like you said, Bob.
Yeah.
And then you can also find the music on Spotify, on Amazon, on iTunes,
YouTube. I found you on
get-
YouTube.
Yeah, so you can
My
find it.
cousin's on
anywhere.
YouTube.
That's great. That's fantastic,
It
Fred.
is fantastic.
That's amazing. It's great. I love it. He's our
Yeah,
guy.
now we're gonna have to, you know
Our
who's
cousin.
next.
Here's my favorite line from the album: "The green that feeds their need." You guys go look that one up. Okay, that's a good line. I loved it.
And let's tell our castees to stay tuned for the family rollout. Now we've got a lot of talented cousins, and on account of we started this, we're going to keep that ball rolling. And I believe
unpeel the family onion.
Crooner at large will probably get a little knock on his door, and we'll head over to the cop shop to hit up cousin Ned.
It'll be great.
And you just never know who else could pop up on Cowsills Go Family Road.
If you're ever in Weathersfield, Connecticut, look them up, people. Fred Presley.
Just ask for the CEO.
Yeah.
Just knock on the door.
It's a beautiful historic downtown, oldest downtown in all of Connecticut.
I can't wait to finally see it.
Are you near Old Saybrook?
We are half an hour.
Half an hour? Wow. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, on September 22nd, the trio Cowsills show will be performing at the
Cape. You're going to be at the Cape.
At the Cape. In
half an hour from you?
In September. We'll keep you posted.
Awesome.
September.
You come up and sing Sympathize. I'd love to see that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thanks for being on our podcast, Cuzzy.
Yeah, thanks for
having me, Cuzzies.
Love to the family.
Love you guys.
We love you too, honey.
Luann sends her love to you and Kelly.
Say hi to the guys, everybody.
Kelly says happy New Year to all of you. Love you.
All right. Bye, buddy.